Uncle Luke performs during Pam Presents Cashmere Cat, Jillionaire and special guest Uncle Luke on December 1, 2016 in Miami, Florida. Photo by Monica Shipper, Getty Images for Pam. A few weeks after she announced her bid for president, Sen. Kamala Harris was the target of some scathing critiques from rap legend Luke Campbell, but now several months later, the former 2 Live Crew frontman says he thinks he got it wrong. According to Politico, in an editorial in the Miami New Times, Campbell said that a lot of working-class black people had no interest in voting for the one-time prosecutor. In the essay, he bundled Harris with politicians who had denied rehabilitation for defendants and targeted the innocent. He also slammed her for her marriage to lawyer Douglas Emhoff and suggested she slept with former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown to advance her career. Read more. Black votes will define 2020 presidential electability for Democrats. Like everyone else, black voters want help from one of their own, Campbell wrote at the time, pointing out that Harris's mother was from India. The Bushes made sure their people got oil money. Bill Clinton let the telecommunications industry gobble up small radio and TV stations. Donald Trump is looking out for his developer buddies through a tax cut and opportunity zones that gentrify minority neighborhoods. Meanwhile, Harris has let black people know they can't count on her. Simone Sanders, who was a free agent Democratic strategist at the time, having worked in Bernie Sanders' 2016 presidential campaign, but later became press secretary for candidate Joe Biden's 2020 run, balked at Campbell's need to throw in his 2 cents, tweeting, "Uncle Luke is no political mastermind or strategist," adding, "Why do black men keep popping up with their unsolicited opinions about Kamala Harris?" She later faced some criticism for the quip from several directions. But last week the rapper surprised many when he posted a video on Instagram stating he and Harris had recently spoken on the phone about her presidential priorities. Campbell agreed to the chat because he wanted to determine for himself whether she was a real sister. "I went back and looked deeper at the record," he explains in an interview with Politico. Read more. Biden says Kamala Harris's attack at the Democratic debate caught him off guard last month. Tiffany Cross, who appears on The Griot for its DC 360 segments and is also founder and managing editor of political newsletter The Beat DC, sat down with Campbell and pointed out to him that many found his op-ed sexist. She convinced him to speak to Harris directly about his reservations. Cross later brought up Campbell's editorial on MSNBC's AM Joy, with host Joy Reid, noting that the rapper may view Harris through the lens of black men who have been disproportionately affected by the criminal justice system. Bakari Sellers, a political commentator and former South Carolina politician, also chimed in saying that Campbell's voice is an important one because he is so well respected in Florida politics. "He's someone that you want on your side," Sellers said, according to Politico. "Luke can have the conversations that you can't have." The conversations apparently had an impact because in a later sit-down interview with Jamel Hill of The Atlantic, Campbell later conceded, "Out of all the candidates, I really like her the most." This all led to the dialogue between Harris and Campbell, in which she was able to show him her re-entry program for low-level offenders and her proposal to change how credit scores are calculated so that blacks would have a better chance at home ownership. They also agreed on the rights of individuals to keep firearms for protection. He noted that her willingness to meet him where he has made the biggest impression. "That got me more than anything. That I could write all those tough words, that I could say what I did on those interviews, and she's woman enough to say, 'Let's have a conversation,'" he told Politico. "Most men, they take it personal, take their little toy and they go sit down. I'm a man," Campbell said. "I can say I made a mistake." He later eschewed all of the other Democratic candidates, and posted the Instagram video openly endorsing Harris, listing the reasons he felt she would make the best presidential choice. Let's block ads. Why?